Yo, 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 what's good, Geeky Face-Offs? It's Geeky Slim here, and today I'll be discussing a Sonic related topic, that being Shadow the Hedgehog versus Silver the Hedgehog, '06. Strictly the 2006 version, because as we all know, Sega unfortunately stops caring for Silver after 2006 for some odd reason. The reason why I want to discuss this topic is because I've been seeing some heavy biasness towards Shadow lately, with some delusional Shadow fans that I like to call Shadow Tars acting as if Shadow just outscales Silver heavily in '06. With that being said, it's time to use our brain geeks. Let's discuss. I mean, we literally see Silver the Hedgehog fight Sonic a few times in '06, right? Silver technically does beat Sonic during their first encounter. Silver uses his psychokinesis to embolize Sonic and prepares to deliver a killing blow, but is interrupted by Amy Rose, allowing Sonic to escape. Silver then again in another encounter is about to kill Sonic once again, but this time gets interrupted by none other than Shadow, and for those who aren't biased towards Shadow, understands that Sonic has pretty much slightly been above Shadow for the most part. Whether you think they're relative or not is not the case here. With that being said, I want to address this theory that Silver is somehow significantly weaker than the other Hedgehogs. This idea doesn't hold up when you actually examine the events of the story. In the fight against Solaris, we clearly see Team Hedgehog battling across the past, present, and future. Given this setup, it only makes logical sense that all three would need to output comparable levels of power. If Silver were significantly weaker, then the entire plan would fall apart. The success of their strategy depends on each Hedgehog being capable of holding their own against Solaris, which is why the argument that Silver is the weakest link is inconsistent with how the story unfolds. And to be clear, this is not me arguing Super Silver versus Super Shadow directly, but for those who think that Super Shadow would easily defeat Super Silver, the narrative itself suggests otherwise. If Super Silver were not operating at a similar level of power, he would not have been able to combat Solaris in the future at all. His role in defeating Solaris directly implies parity, not inferiority. But anyways, let's go back to the Silver vs. Shadow incident in 2006. So this right here is the feat that Shadow Tards consistently over-exaggerate while ignoring the context of the full fight. It is literally a meme in the Sonic community. But let's talk about it. The cutscene clearly shows that Shadow and Silver have already been fighting. Both characters are visibly panting and out of breath, yet neither is knocked down or visibly damaged. So this should indicate that the fight up to that point was a stalemate, not a one-sided domination. We then see Silver charging at Shadow and gets caught in a Chaos Control attack. However, I do feel like the context matters here as Silver appears to be caught off guard. The reason why I say that is there's no indication he had prior knowledge that Shadow possessed a Chaos Emerald. While it is technically Silver's mistake for rushing in recklessly, this moment reflects a lack of awareness rather than inferiority in power or ability. So yeah, Shadow does land a roundhouse kick that knocks Silver down, but the impact is minimal, and as we see, Silver stands back up within seconds and reveals a Chaos Emerald of his own. When both characters use Chaos Control against each other, the result is a complete stalemate, canceling each other out. This is critical evidence that neither character holds a clear advantage over the other. In conclusion, the fight demonstrates parity, not superiority. Shadow does not dominate Silver. Instead, the two are portrayed as evenly matched, at least in this context of Sonic 2006. But I will say this, it seems at this point, Shadow clearly only gets the upper hand on his opponents when he catches them off guard, knowing that he can't beat these people head on. Shadow in every variation is an intellectual fighter, right? So I think it's safe to say that he realized taking Silver head on at this point would just be utterly pointless, as both of them were clearly going toe to toe. If Shadow was confident that he could take on Silver, he wouldn't need to be a sneak merchant, being the first one to resort to using Chaos Control out of the two. While Silver was ready to keep going head on, Shadow wasn't, which I feel should give enough indication that the fight could have gone two ways, that being a stalemate or was Silver the Hedgehog winning the fight. But let me know what y'all think. How did y'all perceive that fight? Is Silver truly the weakest link in the 2006 game, or is he slightly stronger? Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. And remember folks, stay geeky.